talk about startups. So that's something that we'll be monitoring. The other bit is the pipeline of companies ready to go for listing locally, either at ACE market or lead market or even the main market. Because for many years that has been our problem as an economy. We have very limited pool of companies to go for listing. And that's because most of our major corporations are in traditional sectors. If we compare our Bursa market with some others, I think our tech weightage is very low. I think 4 to 5% alone, only. And what a pity, because this is a country that is recognized globally as one of the most important semiconductor players in the world. You know, I think the anecdotes back then during COVID is that people cannot produce cars elsewhere because Malaysia is closed for business, because a lot of the chips that are used in automotive is actually from Malaysia. And the fact that despite having such a strong E&E, a global exporter, our tech weightage in our local market is only 4%. We certainly missed out the last few months, bull run in the tech market. So that's also one indicator that we would like to see, that we have more and more pipelines of tech and startups ready for listing. Because if all this happens, then we would be able to create a sustainable pivot to the high value economy, where government focuses more on the regulation, more on the ecosystem, less on funding, less on direct intervention. Because those are the prerequisites. And I think we can do it. If there is one thing that I've realized sitting down with so-called tech celebrities and the other industry, we were doing the same thing when we were rolling out the ambitious plan for energy transition. There were a few things that had worked before in our favor as Malaysians. Number one, we can be really humble. And humility goes a long way, especially when you already have a good foundation. Number two, we have good talents, whether we like it or not. We may not see it, but people from around the world recognize that Malaysia has a good foundation in terms of talents, in terms of education, and so on. Thirdly, we have always been blessed with inherent advantages. Previously, we had a lot of natural resources. Now, our geographical location and the neutrality that comes with it, given the backdrop of geopolitical shifts around the world, suddenly it becomes our strong inherent advantages. And if we do this together, and I've switched from doing pitching for my startup to pitching for the country in the last 1 year, I do notice that people readily open up to us. It's not that difficult to sell Malaysia as a place, provided that we have a plan, we have the humility, we work for it, and we give the commitment and early success. And 2-3 years down the line, I think if we are able to make KL20 works, the rest I think will sort out by itself. And that's my wish, hopefully, for the country.